Good morning and welcome to the Chester ARP Church Devotional Podcast. I'm Clint Davis, your host. Thank you for joining us. Psalm 142 is the psalm we will look at this morning together as we work our way through the Psalms. We're nearing the end of the book of Psalms, and I pray that our time in the Psalter has been as encouraging to you as it has been to me. Psalm 142, we only have 8 more after this one to do in the book of the Psalms, but Psalm 142 strikes a theme that we've seen time and time again throughout the Psalms. And I've told you in our different discussions of different Psalms that one of the things I love about the Psalms is the way in which the Psalms help us to have freedom to fully express our emotions before God. David is crying out in Psalm 142. He is singing a song in the midst of his depression. Particularly, we're told in the title of the psalm that this is a maskil of David, a musical notation of David, a poem of David, when he was in a cave. It was a prayer. It's a prayer that David prayed while he was in the cave. Now, there are 2 incidences in the Old Testament story of David when he is in a cave. Both instances, he is running from King Saul. And in both instances, he is hiding out because Saul is seeking to destroy him. In 1 Samuel chapter 22, he's in the cave of Adullam. And in 1 Samuel chapter 24, he is in the cave of En-gedi. And in both of these instances, David must have felt like he was imprisoned. He was deep in the cave. They were dark. He was isolated. He was confined. He couldn't come out and roam freely as he wished because he was a wanted man. His life hung in the balance. He found himself trapped and confined. He was losing hope. He was caught in a paralyzing fear. He was deep in depression. And maybe that's where you've been recently. Maybe you feel trapped in your own circumstances. Maybe you feel trapped in the world around you. Maybe you feel trapped in this pandemic. Maybe you feel trapped by your past, trapped by the thoughts of other people, trapped by your own struggles to think about yourself as God made you and loved you, but rather you point out all your negatives and you point out all the things you have done wrong. You feel trapped by your own self-image, and you find yourself diving deeper and deeper into depression and frustration to where you're unable to pull yourselves out. This is when prayers like this can come in very handy. Because at times where we are depressed and deeply consumed with our own thoughts, we can come to the Lord, and like David, we can express our true feelings, and that's what makes the Psalms so beautiful. And we can remember God's works. We can reach out to Him in prayer. We can trust Him. We can pursue His will. And it's amazing how God will use that process in our lives to give us hope even in the darkest of circumstances. Remembering His works, reaching out to Him in prayer, trusting Him, and then pursuing His will, trusting that He will once again open our eyes that we may see Him in the land of the living. So here's Psalm 142 this morning. I'm going to read it to us from the New International Version. I cry aloud to the Lord. I lift up my voice to the Lord for mercy. I pour out before Him my complaint. Before Him I tell of my trouble. When my spirit grows faint within me, it is You who watch over my way. In the path where I walk, people have hidden a snare for me. Look and see. There is no one at my right hand. No one is concerned for me. I have no refuge. No one cares for my life. I cry to You, Lord. I say You are my refuge, my portion in the land of the living. Listen to my cry, for I am in desperate need. Rescue me from those who pursue me, for they too are strong for me. Set me free from my prison, that I may praise Your name. Then the righteous will gather about me because of Your goodness to me. David reminds us that we can cry out to God even in the midst of our darkest hours and trust the Lord to be the one who will hear our prayer and respond to us and send the righteous to us to encircle us, to gather about us, and to give us hope. I pray you guys have a great day. God bless you. I'll catch you tomorrow. Be encouraged in the Lord.